Hey, this is Cameron, and welcome to the reaction log. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, we got a special spicy one here for you. This is going to be a couple things first. When I make fun of Marcin, that is not an invitation for all of you to now make fun of Marcin. We come from the same worlds. We are kind of the same. Yeah, he's more talented. Yeah, he got further faster, and he also makes music for a living. And I don't at all. I make a living talking about making music a lot. So, you know, obviously there are these differences, but we still come from the same fabric. We are both at heart polite little classical boys, and we gotta stick together. And part of that's gonna be me jabbing at him. He's gonna not jab back, of course, because he's way too famous for that, and I'm just too small and not worth it. But he sees me, I know he does, and we have this camaraderie. That does not mean that you guys, you electric guitarists, like producer dudes, can start making fun of Marcin for being fake. Classical music in general is fake. That's just how it works. It's not just about the virtuosity of playing, it's about showing your interpretation. That's why Glenn Gould, every single note's punched in to give his perfect interpretation. That's just how classical music is done. So when you start calling people out for miming along with stuff, for punching in notes, it just isn't fair, because everybody does that. Except for me, I don't do that. Unless it's a recording of me playing where there's no video. I only have one of those on my channel. I'm gonna have another one soon for the Prelude of 997. Those have hundreds of cuts in them, because I make them, or I try to make them as perfect as possible, because that's just how you record that kind of music. It's not just one take. You hear me one take the Prelude all the time. It's not perfect. There's always these little things in there, and it kind of just ruins the whole thing. Especially if you're gonna have the standalone performance of something. It should be perfect when it's this kind of music, because that matters. It's not strumming on a guitar. It's not playing single line melodies on a steel string guitar. It's hard, real music, so that's why we have to do that. You might be wondering why I'm so invested in Marcin as a classical guitarist. Let me go ahead and introduce myself. I am a classical guitarist here on YouTube. And what does it mean to be a classical guitarist? Well, shoot, I guess I already kind of said what it means to be a classical guitarist. It means that you're trying to play music that is essentially dialogue of gods. You know, like Zeus, Athena, people like that. Our music is basically whatever they talk about with each other. Like, oh, I just ate lunch, I had a cheeseburger, it was good. Whatever to them is mundane, to us it is the most beautiful and pure thing possible, and we can only express it in music, by the way. Other art forms try to do it, like painting, various other art forms. It doesn't quite do it justice, but music actually does. And by that I mean the notes written down does it justice, but of course when we try to perform it, it's never going to come out right, because our interpretations are so deep and complex. It doesn't matter how good you are, you can never play it as you really want it to be shown. So what we did as a species, we created computers, we created DAWs, we created recording techniques, so we could finally express these deeply complex and impossible interpretations. And now these freaking electric guitar nerds are calling us fake for it. Is that enough of what a classical guitarist is for you? Sorry, I don't mean to throw out the insults so soon. What I want to do here, because I feel like a lot of people are kind of poking fun of Marcin right now, and I've poked fun of Marcin a lot too, but I want to just try to defend him a little bit, because I feel like we've been a little unfair to him, and I just want to show that unfairness a little bit, and maybe we can get a little more perspective about this Marcin situation, and in that I get a ton more views. Look at the last video I posted. Got like no views basically. It's because it's stupid like walk for Bach title. I knew that wasn't gonna get clicks. That wasn't the point of that video. But you know, Papa's gotta get paid. So let's go ahead and get paid. Hey, and Jacobra's doing a good job with those clickbaity thumbnail things. I need to start doing that for mine. I'm gonna do a couple right now. You guys like that? Do you find that annoying? All right.
I'm so excited to share this new discovery about guitar with you guys.
If there's any new discovery with guitar, I am highly skeptical of that. The most recent discovery I want to hear about is lattice bracing and double tops. Anything beyond that? No, no, no.
Oh, Marcin!
Listen, I know Marcin pronounced his name Marcin in that in the Diodario interview. His name's pronounced Marcin. It's a little embarrassing that he doesn't know that.
Well, I was gonna make a video about do Marcin next. You don't want to... Bro, can you investigate Marcin?
You see why I make so many videos about this. There's demand for it. There's a reason why they get so many views. Look at the view count of this video right now. I say give the people what they want. Let's make another Marcin video.
Okay, here's the thing. Marcin has been covered. Sergey Drobin, or Serge, however you say it.
Hey, there's an electric guitarist that knows how to grow his hair out.
2 videos on this. Sergey does a similar thing to what I'm doing, but I'd say he goes a little bit harder on them than I do.
Marcin is maybe the fakest guitar player on the entire f***ing internet.
I know the perspective that you're coming from. You're like an Yngwie neoclassical shredder. It's probably about the virtuosity. You should be able to play it in one take or you can't really play it. But I wouldn't say Marcin is the fakest guitarist on the entire effing internet. Marcin just has the most complicated interpretations and they can't be played by anyone. I know, I'm being a little bit silly. I covered this in the Marcin concert that we watched. Marcin's performance, his videos, his shows, I don't think the purpose of them is to show like virtuosity per se. There's this guise of virtuosity, but I think the main point of what he does is to just make a party for you to like bump your fists to. That's why there's so much production, which when you have that much production, it makes sense that you would fake everything because it needs to be like tight and like fake basically. But again, I also recognize that it's a little bit confusing because he is holding a guitar and usually we associate guitar with like ego and like being the best and all that, and then if someone's like faking it, then that's wrong.
Now on the flip side, if you think that I go too hard on these guys, here's sore hands.
But if you are a Marcin fan who's been upset, this is a really great opportunity for you to make fun of me. Hey, there's that ugly face again. You ugly bitch. All right.
Classical guitarist that has done 18 videos on Marcin.
God, dude, that's a real wake-up call for me. Except, not all of these are Marcin videos. Like, that's a Danny Sapko video, clearly. Marcin is in the thumbnail, but I'm reacting to Danny Sapko in that video. That's just a thumbnail where I called a bunch of people intermediate and I happened to put Marcin in there. That was about Marty Schwartz, so I don't know about that one. Pretty much the rest of them are about Marcin, though, and can you blame a guy? I'm just over here trying to create a self-sufficient Marcin economy, one that you are now profiting from, too. You're welcome, by the way. All right.
So what would I even say that hasn't already been said?
Oh, well, I only said one thing in all of those 18 videos. It's that one little 16th note part that I just think was dubbed in. So I'm sure you can find something.
I found some stuff.
Oh, first we gotta watch an ad.
If you don't understand the rules of power,
You gotta take advantage of all your friends. You need to understand the rules. You gotta find someone to make fun of and profit on them for the rest of your life.
lose to someone who does.
Yeah. Win the game of power, because that's what life is. It's just a struggle of power. Hey, why don't you take this class and then your dad will finally respect you.
I'm gonna teach you how to be more powerful.
I'm gonna... Dude, this is the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Because power leads to success.
Heck yeah.
Some of the things we're gonna talk about having you do are gonna make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to do some messed up stuff to people. It is just gonna be sick. You'll be powerful and no one will love you. No one will even like you. Everyone in your life will be there for personal gain, and that is it.
If you think hard work, loyalty, and waiting your turn,
Yeah, what are you, stupid? Hard work, loyalty, waiting your turn? What a horrible thing to do. Yeah, chump, what do you have, courtesy for others? Loving people, being nice? If you think that's gonna get you anywhere, it's time to skip.
When you reached out to me and you wanted me to come on your track,
Hey, wait, he wanted you to what on his track?
how I do it on the whole guitar, you know?
How the hell is Marcin connected with the slap master himself? And he's got connections with Netflix?
I adored working on the new One Piece live action soundtrack. Dude, what? Before I started Sore Hands, I actually went to Japan and I spent a considerable amount of time in my hotel room watching the One Piece live action show that dropped on Netflix. I loved it, dude. Like, I kind of like One Piece. I've gotten like 150 episodes in. The live action is so good, though. It doesn't waste your time at all. Those 1,000 episode animes, you only need to watch every 5 episodes or so, because 4 of them are just going to be filler and build up. It's so frustrating to watch. So Marcin, big fan of your work. I liked that one.
Most guitarists don't have that. What's going on here?
Hello there.
Welcome, welcome. What's your name?
My name is Marcin.
Yep.
Marcin. Marcin. It's not Marcin. He didn't say Marcin there. That's what I mean. I swear to God, the bigger he gets, the more E we're getting from his name. Bro, it's Marcin.
That's right. At 18 years old, Marcin made it onto America's Got Talent as a contestant, thus starting his career in Hollywood.
My only advice would be, Marcin, I would have stuck with the white background. It was more dramatic. Marcin, the song to me was all over the place. But
Yep, that's definitely a comment that Marcin would get.
with the right song, with this ability and your stage presence, you're a contender.
He didn't win the competition, but he did win a bunch of connections to Hollywood. And what is one thing that Hollywood is known for? Being fake as fuck. Okay, for starters, this second camera with the close-up would be in the wide shot of the other camera.
Oh, well, I can explain this. The video is fake. He's miming along with this, like 100%. I would bet everything on that. And I would never watch this and assume that he wasn't either. The whole purpose of this video is just to package this arrangement of Fly Me to the Moon in a way that is clickable and engaging to watch for 3.5 minutes or whatever. Because that's what Marcin is. He makes the arrangements and then he produces them.
So physically, the camera would have to be about here.
Dude, I appreciate the research though. I'd rather die than move my camera, dude, because it takes me so long to set it up, and the angle still kind of sucks if you notice.
But an even bigger giveaway? It cuts to Marcin and his body is in the middle of this dipped back motion. But in the close-up shot, we don't actually see him dip back at all. He's just standing there still.
Yeah, it's fake. He mimed along with it. At the very least, what could have happened too, which I don't think this happened, but this is something you can use to record stuff like this. If you are actually recording everything live and filming at the same time and then splicing the already sunk up video and audio together. So maybe in the middle of this phrase, he messed up and they sliced it together and he happened to be dipping the second time through when he wasn't dipping the first time. So that happens. And of course, I don't think that that's what happened here. I don't think this arrangement, knowing Marcin's like tappy arrangements, I don't think he is physically able to play them in a way that he would be satisfied with. That would sound close enough to what we hear from his studio recordings where he's clearly layering parts together and it's more than one guitar recording. I don't think he would do a live thing like that, and when it is live, you can tell. Like in the live performance we saw last time at the end, when he did How Music Works, that's what this stuff sounds like live. Like, it's still impressive and it's still cool. It's not the studio. Okay, yeah, it's definitely a mess.
And it's possible that these close-up shots are because Marcin messed up in the wide shot. So, they just shoot the B-roll to cover those up. But the problem is this video is listed as being live.
Yeah, that's kind of like a smoking gun, I for sure. If I'm gonna defend Marcin, he's creating a package here, and it's like, do you have to be like super honest all the time when you're just trying to sell a thing? Like, we could kind of stretch the definition of live solo guitar. He recorded it on solo guitar in a studio, which was live at some point. Kind of like how this video was live at some point, but then edited and then uploaded and scheduled. And now you're watching this like a day or so after I recorded it. But it's live, it's live right now. Marcin is a production guy, Like, if you just look at this thumbnail, it looks like a highly produced video. Man, I'm trying to defend him. He probably could have left live out of it and just had solo guitar or something. But you know what? Who was gonna call him on it? He was gonna get away with this forever. But here we are. Here we are now, I guess. It's hard to defend, but I'm still defending it. I think Marcin's correct.
There's another video that's from the same recording session at the same studio, so we can safely assume that that's mimed as well. Okay, that one's like way too obvious, right? There's click coming through and you could see a microphone, so obviously the microphone's gonna pick up that click, and then we hear that live audio gets turned down, and then all of a sudden the pre-recorded track starts. And once again, this is labeled as live.
Yeah, that one's kind of funny, isn't it? Because I assume all that stuff was to give this illusion of it being live, because it's like live audio and then it fades in. But you know what? Maybe that is actually making it more defensible, because it's so obviously pre-recorded. He's not even hiding it. Maybe when Marcin says live session, he means it more like based on a true story, where it's just like it isn't at all. Like, this could have happened. Like, it's supposed to look like a live video. It's not. He's selling the idea of a live video. And that's what classical guitar is. He's selling the idea of his interpretation. No one's able to do their interpretation fully. But you Frankenstein it together, and then you sell that, and you say, I did this. And you did. Just not all at once.
So we can safely say that all the other sessions that look like that are mimed.
Yeah, dude, tell that to the Marcin fan base, though. They're just like, this is all live, one take right here.
Why do you need a laptop,
He's never claimed to not use backing tracks and stuff. And again, in that concert rewatch, there were obviously backing tracks where they were adding in extra drum notes that he was hitting sometimes, but sometimes it was just a continuous drum loop that he wasn't hitting, and then also bass notes as well. So he definitely needs a laptop. Are you suggesting, though, that the tremolo guitar that we're hearing is pre-recorded.
And you might say, oh, but it can't be backtracked because he just like naturally flows into the next song and starts it.
No way. I wouldn't believe that this is all fake.
He's got one long session that has all of his songs in it, and he just hits play at the beginning. And he's got a metronome in his ear and probably a count-off that is telling him when to start the next song. And it's keeping him in time with those backtracks.
I don't know, man. That's some real, like, tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. Because, once again, Marcin is a guitarist. And I believe he can play 95% of the stuff that he puts out to some quality. Like, he can tap the Carmen bass line on his guitar. Like, that can't be fake, dude. And look, even when he's tuning his guitar, like, he's plucking at the right time and stuff. Let's see that again. Yeah, when he does that, like... Dude, you're telling me that he's memorizing when he's, like, plucking the tune strings and that's to a backing track, too? For someone like Marcin, I feel like that'd be more work than just actually playing it, you know? I don't know why that would be the case, because he can play this stuff.
His songs in it, and he just hits play at the beginning. And he's got a metronome in his ear and probably a count-off that is telling him when to start the next song.
That's too far for me. I don't believe that for a second. Like, there's no way that that's true. Sure, there's drum backing track, there's bass notes, there might even be some guitar fills, but his guitar is plugged in. Like, we saw the concert. Like, it would have been so obvious if he played for an hour and a half and everything was mimed. Like, I would have seen that after a while, and you could tell that it wasn't mimed because some of it was, like, quite sloppy. Maybe some of the electric guitar parts, if I can find them, I'll show some clips there. Some of you suggested that those might have been mimed, and... I could see that, like, especially for those repetitive riffs, but I mean, like, he is a guitarist, like, he can play this stuff. Like, at least when it comes to his bread and butter on the acoustic guitar with the tappy stuff and, like, tremolo, like, I don't think he's miming that.
It's keeping him in time with those backtracks.
Melinda, you got me? Melinda. 2, 3, 4.
You can actually pick out the backtracks fairly easily. You see, his guitar is mono. That means it's one guitar signal that's coming equally out of each speaker so that it appears into the center. The backtracks, though, are stereo. They're on the left and the right, and they're spread out because they're tracked separately, so you can hear them specifically on the left and the right, like the hand drumming, for example.
Yeah, okay, so you're saying that his guitar is still, like, sounding through. There's just extra percussion. We noticed that in his live recording. Of course he does that, and I don't think it's, like, cheating to do that. Like, everybody has backing tracks when they're playing. I see nothing wrong with any of this.
But maybe we actually are hearing that center guitar as his real live playing. That could be real.
It is. It, like, 100% is real. Like, I would bet anything on that.
Just the backtrack.
Don't let me down, Marcin. Please.
Extra, you know, supplemental.
Absolutely. That is what's going on.
Whoa.
Okay, that maybe he was sick for this performance or something, and they was just like, just put the whole thing. Don't plug me in. I'm not playing any of this. That one was pretty bad.
Hang on a sec. He hammers on this note, but the next note is strummed.
Oh, dude, there's so much more than that, too. Like, it just sounds like even looking at his left hand, it doesn't look like he's playing that at all. Hold on, I feel like I need to see that for myself. That sounds like Moonlight Sonata. This is a live performance and there's no audience, it looks like. Oh, wait, no, there are people. Oh, this is a live performance. Okay, this is legit. Unless it's just a bunch of paid actors and this is just a music video. God, it sounds so stupid. Ugh. This would be so much better from someone who took classical guitar seriously. It would sound so much nicer. Ooh, alright. A little hesitation in there. Very soulful playing. I love when the melody just randomly jumps up an octave. Do you think the violins are miming along too? Here's what I think this one is. I believe this is a live recording. We're hearing the DI of his guitar, and it looks like the violins are also mic'd. This is all, like, very close-up mic'd. There's no reason why he couldn't add things in and post, though, or, like, get rid of notes, clip out different ones, record entirely new passages. In this kind of setting, I would definitely believe that they're playing to a click track because it's just like a live, like, it's not quite a stadium, but it's like a big auditorium. Why not, you know? But most of what we're hearing is real. I feel like I'm being told Santa isn't real right now. Like, Marcin fakes it all. Sorry. Yeah, that's a dynamic count-in. It's got like rubato and retards in it and stuff. Dude, I don't know how to do that stuff in Logic, so this is beyond me. This part is definitely like phoned in. It's pretty obvious. Even just how close up it sounds too. He hit all those notes perfectly. All right, whatever, sure. Very beautiful. All right, let's get away from that.
And how about this video, where he claims to have stopped his show to prove that he wasn't fake?
And many people on the internet, they think that I am fake. You know, that everything I play is fake.
Sounds like the guiltiest man alive right now. They think I'm fake. Everything I play is fake. Let's hear that guitar part again. Does that sound fake?
You know, that everything I play is fake.
Well, this isn't exactly stopping your show. This is a big part of your show. People think that you're just miming along to a backtrack live.
Maybe I can be like a real drummer. Let's see.
I learned that ChatGPT works best with detailed prompts,
Great.
but I hate typing them. So
yeah,
instead,
dude. So you got to make a new AI to make your detailed prompts. All right, I get it.
In which case, this mistake, this mess up, does prove that you are not just miming along to a backtrack that everybody's hearing. But let's call it what it is, a mistake. So that's good. We know that at the time of that video, at least, his live playing was real. And that video got 5 million views. But the video that he posted right afterwards only got 250,000 views.
Are you view shaming Marcin right now? Hey, it looks like Marcin found his Marcin, which is saying that you're not fake. I'm just happy that I found my saying that I'm not fake, which is Marcin.
So something about proving I'm not fake has some virality to it. But you can't just make the exact same live video again. I mean,
Why not? I can make the same reaction video 18 times. Why can't he make the same live video again?
how do you put a new spin on it, but keep that same concept? High production. Let's shoot it at a studio. High quality videography and sound. Video studios are only mildly treated acoustically, which means that a bunch of microphones set up, like we've seen in the previous videos, would lead to an unflattering recording with a bunch of bad reverb in it. So of course, just use a guitar pickup, right? Then you won't have those reverb problems. The problem with acoustic guitar pickups like piezos, they just don't sound that great.
Dude, thank you for saying it. People, stop using piezos. In fact, stop using electronics in general. Just get a classical guitar.
And also, how about the fact that if Marcin messes up and they have to do more takes, that costs precious studio time. So let's be reasonable. You pre-record the track and then you mime along to it. But hang on. That's the point of this video, is that he's not faking it. It's in the title and he says it at the beginning of the video.
The way that I play is just it's not real.
And that was kind of the weird thing with this video, right? You're not proving you're not fake because it's clearly a pre-recorded track, and of course he's miming because it's a music video. Every music video gets mimed along to, unless it's like specifically a live video. Not Marcin's live videos though, those are also mimed to as well. But I really do think the value of this piece of art right here comes from the composition, and that's pretty much it. And this is all just packaging and decoration to sell the composition. I mean, he even has the notes written out and everything. It's all the composition. You know, he's a classical guitarist at heart, and that's why I see that. That's why I'm saying this. It hasn't been like the easiest thing defending Marcin throughout this whole thing, I will admit, but I still stand by what he's doing here, and I think it's fine.
But it is.
So of course he can't mime along to it. There's this big stigma right now, you know, and people calling out people for miming. Oh, let me repeat that. There'd be a ton of comments on Marcin's video. People on social media would be talking about Marcin. YouTubers would be making videos about Marcin. 6.2 million views in 1 month.
Yep, that's Sorehand's handiwork right there. I take credit for at least 6 of those million.
incredible. Just incredible.
You know, I guess according to you, Marcin just kind of sold out to what's gonna make him get popular, which, again, as a classical guitarist, I relate with that too. I'm just impressed that he was able to use music to sell out instead of just like ranting about stuff. All right, let's finish this up.
Marcin, hats off, bro. Just, wow. That's impressive. You took the bait. I mean, how can you even be mad at this guy? Look at this.
Is that AI? How strange.
Look at the kittens. Marcin, you found my weakness, okay? Realistically, Marcin is an incredible guitar player. Go watch his...
All right, stop praising him. That's my job. Listen, Marcin is an incredible guitar player. You know, like, he's all right, I guess. I mean, if he studied classical guitar more, he'd be a lot better. Not saying that I'm better than Marcin. I'm not saying that at all, but I'd be a lot worse if I didn't study classical guitar. I can see how a lot of people find Marcin indefensible because, you know, like, a lot of it's fake. Of course it is. Once again, I think the value of Marcin lies in the composition and the product that he's selling. It's not a home video of somebody setting up their iPhone and then shredding on guitar and it's like this virtuosic thing. It's dance party music that's not meant to elevate the listener whatsoever. You scroll past it and watch the next short and it's just like brain rot nonsense. And if you look at it from that lens, it's actually pretty cool and like generally harmless and fine. And that's how I feel about it. We're complicated here on Sore Hands. Really how I feel about anything is however you feel about it, I feel the opposite. So, you know, if you want to throw some other opinions out at me, I'll try to defend the other side, sort of. I feel like this wasn't the greatest defense of Marcin, if I'm being honest. I feel like I was a little harsh, maybe even more harsh than usual in this one. Finally, Jacoba Records, thanks for the video, thanks for the shout out in the beginning, that's nice of you. So, you know, if you want to check them out, go ahead and do that. Jacoba Records. Did I put them in the description? I probably forgot. Sorry, I guess I just never do that. You know what? I think we can probably wrap this one up here. I believe we covered everything. So, of course, if you made it this far, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. Don't forget to pick up some Augustine strings. Augustine, best in the business. Of course, as usual. There's a sale right now on Rutan's Delight, 15% off everything. Get yourself the Sore Hands sweatshirt. It's amazing. I love it. I wear it all the time. Christmas gifts, you know, that's something for you. Of course, guitar lessons, I don't offer them just because I don't do that. I do this now. But I do know people who are, so if you email me, I can put you in contact with them. They're still taking students. And of course, I'm making a cut of that. Don't worry. All right, well, I'll see you in the next one.